very well, and I have a degree, and I know there were very few people that live in White Bear Lake, but no one ever called me or sent me, you know, a letter. So, like, tell me something, being very involved in your school. After that letter, the vice principal and I became very good friends. Because I was involved in my friends' school, I was involved in counseling, I was involved in all the conferences, I was there all the time, and it helped my sons play varsity soccer, homecoming, and prom. So when they saw that I was an active Hmong American parent, and my children were Hmong American children who participated in all the things that regular mainstream American kids did, the school kind of backed off. And again, then as an interpreter, it is very hard for Hmong parents to be engaged. Because I will call Hmong parents and say, today is conference, come on this time, I'm going to be the interpreter for you. And they'll say, oh, we're really busy, do we have to come? You know, can you just send us their report? Can you just tell us over the phone how a child is doing? I would say, it's more, I think you should come because you can speak to the teacher, you can ask questions if your child has any behavior problems or there's a learning disability, you can speak to your teacher. And they're like, well, how long is it going to be? Because they're so short on time. How long is it going to be? Well, Hmong parents get there. Even though we're always on long time, when they get there, they want to be first, right? And they want to get out there, you know, right away. So it's been very hard for me to get Hmong parents in there. But I try to, I would say coerce them, but I do try to explain to them that, you know, please come because I'm going to be an interpreter. I'm going to sit there with you. I'll walk with you. If you have any questions or anything, I'm there for you through the whole process. And if you're there and I'm there, I will get you to see the teacher at your time and on time. So, you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it is very hard to get our Hmong parents to be, you know, engaged with their children's activity at school. And I don't know what else we can do except to, you know, do more education, do more outreach. I would recommend that the older children really emphasize to your parents that it's so important, Mom, that you go to the school conference. And if they don't have an interpreter, you have a right to demand that the schools provide an interpreter for your parents. Because the interpreters are funded by the federal government. So if English is your second language, and if it's at the school, at a hospital, clinic, or courtroom, wherever you go, if there's services, you can request an interpreter. By law, they have to provide you with an interpreter. Yes?
So, what is it? I think last semester, I went door knocking with Asian American organization on the east side of St. Paul. So we door knocked and talked to families about like what are the issues in the communities and what do they think they can be changed. And so like I think just having for me having those conversations with them was really eye opening. That like they see all these issues, but then they're just like, oh, we can't do anything about it. So whoever is like at this at the Capitol that is doing this, they can do it for us. And to me, it's just really shocking. Like, what are you saying? Like, you have an impact and you can be a part of this. But then for a lot of these parents, they're like, oh, we don't know anything. They're the ones to do it. But then they don't talk to these people too. And like just going to many doors and then having families that don't want to open the door when you know they're in the house. Like they don't want to open the door to you. And then you ask them about like issues and they don't even want to they're like, we don't want to talk with you. And it's just like, you know, we're talking about you and the issues, you know, that your community are facing and you are facing, like, don't you want to improve on that? But then like, I feel like a lot of people have the idea of like, well, we want other people to fight for us and we don't want to fight for ourselves. And so it's like, how do we start to change that mentality of families and children? Because I met a St. Kate student when I was door knocking. She didn't want to talk to me. And so I was just like, okay, like, maybe this needs to me too, but okay, you're in college, like, don't you care to? But it just makes me be like, you know, maybe not everybody.
Yeah. And that's why we need to encourage people to go out and vote. Because a lot of people think that, you know, my vote doesn't make a difference, or what difference does one vote make? It makes a big difference. Like, I have friends that are, Hmong friends that are American citizens, who does not want to vote. They would tell me, why will you vote? You just make a difference. My vote's not going to make a difference. And I say, your vote makes a difference. It can make or break, you know, a vote. And so I will always tell them, say, you should go vote. It's really easy. It's not that difficult. Why do I want to wait in line? But a lot of people don't understand the power of voting. And I never understood the process of becoming a delegate or being endorsed until Chua ran. And I went into interpret as for the DFO convention. It was chaotic. It was crazy. I thought to myself, this is how they become a delegate? So they get endorsed? It's like a zoo. And people are going,
It's like a zoo.
It's like a zoo. It's like they have to vote and then they can't, if the votes are not equal, they have to go back and vote again and they freeze the floor. And I'm thinking, so all this time I thought it was just this beautiful process where I go in and I just mark the box. And it's wonderful, but it's very chaotic and it's a long process. And then there are people that volunteer all day to sit there like, seriously? You don't have a life? But then I realized how important it is. You don't have a life? You volunteer your whole day here. But then I realized how important it is, to volunteer and to vote and just to be part of the process. Because then you start to understand why we vote, why we work so hard, especially for colored people. The only way to make our voices heard is to be vocal and to be there. And even those that don't speak English, it's the power of the number of people. So if they don't speak English, then we have interpreters that will take them to the polls and will interpret for them. And so you just encourage everybody to go and vote. One vote makes a big difference.
And, encourage the right candidate, especially a person of color who will fight for us. Because, Mika là cho dân giàu bé, right? She been long that people right? And people she right? So she forgot that like they want to it's not that it's just that want to try by water, but it to buy that they should have buy that. But it's just that somebody has to make that step,
Yeah. And also, I said earlier, all of us are at different phases in our political evolution. And so, be kind to each other too, because you may be ready today, but your neighbor might not be. And your neighbor will probably come along in 10 years. And then you'll be ready to kind of help them along that process. And in 10 years, you'll be like, oh, I'm over it, and then you can just teach them. Because everyone's going to be at a different phase in their life. And you never know what that particular person is going through. Because I remember when I went to college and I was with other Vietnamese people, Laotian people, and they weren't as politically active. And I was like, why are you not active? But they were in a different place. And so all of us are at different phases in our life and having different experiences that shape kind of when we will be active, either politically active or, active in our community. And so be patient with each other. It's not always the right time. Okay.
So this is like totally what we've been talking about, but has Maiv PAC received any backlash from the Hmong community, particularly Hmong men? Yeah.
So I'll talk about a few things that I know and then you guys can share.
Yeah.
So I only know that on our Facebook page, people are really questioning, like, why is it Hmong women? And then in private, I've had some relatives to say, like, there are so many things for Hmong women, there aren't anything for Hmong men. But this is my response to my relatives, is that everything we do in the Hmong culture, even though we don't say it, is around men. Like 18 clan, it's all men. Are your parents part of any of the clan associations, like Hmong Vu or Hmong Ya or Hmong Thao or Hmong Xiong? Yeah, I'm a Xiong too. And because I'm a girl, the Xiong clan never invites me to anything. And I'm not involved in anything. But my husband's a Vu, and we're really active in our Vu family association. And because I married a Vu, I'm much more active with them, and I'm included in doing everything with them. But even though, so I'm part of the board, and on the board, all the women are the most educated women, and then the men are like, maybe they work at a factory, maybe they don't even have a job, but there is always this double standard. So everything that we already do every day is around Hmong men. And so we're being intentional about Hmong women's issues because, first of all, it's a group of Hmong women. And second of all, when Hmong women do well, or when women do well in general in any society, the community, the family does well. And this is just a given fact, both nationally and now, Michelle Obama has her Educate Women initiative, and she says the same exact thing, that when we educate women and when women are successful, entire communities, entire nations become successful.
So a little bit about that. When I was running for the school board, at that time I was in I wasn't married yet, so still single. So when I went, when I had fundraiser, I went to the community to ask them for money. They're like, oh, well, 个钱都有，只一个什么没有，所以只300块。I'm like, okay, like not even $1. They're like, no, 都可以。
Can you speak English? There's some people who...
Oh, sorry. So when I was doing my campaign, I'm married, I don't have kids. So I got a lot of backlash from the Hmong men in the community who said that because I'm not married, I don't have any kids, they don't want to support me. And I asked if they could even donate $1, and they said no. So it was really hard. And then when I was doing my campaign, I talked a lot about the issues in the Hmong community. And so instead of the Hmong men address the issues to me, what they would do is they would address the issue to the Vang clan leader or my dad, who would come back and say, well, you know, at this event, you know, you said this and that offended this person. So it seemed like there wasn't equality or even equal or any equity in the Hmong community. And even now, you know, for us, Maiv PAC, you know, we do a lot of outreach. We're very transparent, you know. Anybody can come to our event, anybody can listen and learn. And we're just all about education, educating everybody and shaping the future. And a lot of the Hmong men, they don't see that. They think like we want the power. We want to take over the clan, the 18 clan, the Vang clan, or whatever it is out there. And that's not our purpose. Our purpose is to educate, you know, the youth, because you guys are the future for tomorrow.
But let's be clear, it is about power.
Yeah.
And we do want power.
Yes.
But it's not, we don't want power from Hmong men because they're not the most powerful people. Let's also be clear about that. We want to be at the table with the most powerful people. And Hmong men and Hmong women fighting each other makes no sense. We are equally powerless, okay? So we want to be at the table with the most powerful people, and that's why we're part of this PAC. Because we want to be part of the decision-making process, and we want to be able to influence the decisions that are being made. And that's the other thing that, you know, the majority of the folks in the room are also either Hmong or folks of color. Us fighting amongst each other makes no sense. We are not the most powerful people. Unless you're Barack Obama and Michelle. And if you have their ear. But you know, like so it's not, it doesn't make sense for us to fight amongst each other.
Yeah.
It actually makes much more sense for us to build coalitions and to work together to so that we all have a voice, and because we all have a stake in what's going to happen.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything negative personally, but I also sit on the board of Empower Hmong Women, which is a non-profit organization that holds a conference every year, and we provide resources to educate Hmong women, Hmong community on domestic abuse, you know, health, mental health issues in the Hmong community. And a lot of men have approached us and said, why don't you do a conference for Hmong men? And same thing with Maiv PAC, how come it's all Hmong women? But for me, my answer is if I, you know, and it's all hearsay, but my answer to that is, with the Hmong men, it's about whose clan you belong to. It's the Vang clan, it's the Vang clan, it's the Xiong clan. So my clan is better than your clan. With us women, it's the Hmong sister clan. We're united as one. We don't care who's your clan, who's your husband. We don't care if you're the attorney, you're the teacher, you're the nurse, you're the interpreter, you're whatsoever. We come together as a group, and we're united to help our community and to help the Hmong women and children, so that we have equal access to education, health, and economics like everyone else. So that's what makes us different, that we are Hmong women, we're Hmong sisters. We're not the Vu, the Vang, and the Yang clans.
We don't have no title.
Right, we don't have any title.
No title.
Yeah, we're just
Like
like
us.
Yes.
So if we, well, I'm a member already, but if we want to become a member of Maiv PAC, like how do we do that, and then what does that mean?
So since we're really new, we started conversations around starting Maiv PAC about a year ago, and but we didn't actually have official documentation until, was it June? And so we're really young. We just finished our endorsement process. Now we're going to prepare for the November elections, and in the interim, we're trying to figure out how to engage our members. And our members are anyone that contributes to the PAC. And then we have our executive committee who makes all the decisions around events and things like that. So the executive committee is actually needs to sit down and figure out how to engage our membership, and that may be a variety of ways, through listservs, through events, or even and just invite people to help us organize other events, because we're going to continue to need to fundraise, and the fundraising effort is going to be ongoing because money is power. And so we have two things that we want to do: raise lots of money and increase the number of people we have in the PAC. So we want tons of people and tons of money. So you or anyone in the room who's interested in being a member, let us know. We also had a sign-up sheet, so we're going to create a listserv and then send out updates and information, and then figure out different opportunities for our members to engage. But right now, because we're still so new and the election is right around the corner, we're still kind of working on the election stuff. But we welcome anyone to be a member. It's not exclusive to Hmong women. We welcome everyone. But our vision and our mission and our issues are around Hmong women's issues.
Because money is power and people are power.
Yep.
So those are our goals.
And I think it's safe to say that, even if you don't make a money contribution, your time is a lot more
Valuable, yes.
Yeah, it's more valuable to the school too.
I know that you guys are college students, so if
Yeah.
you want to volunteer just to get the experience, we welcome that, because one of our members is
A graduate student.
Yeah, graduate student,
Yeah.
and she was originally a board member, and she realized that she didn't have the time to raise the funds or to donate, so she is just a member. She volunteers at our events, comes to all of our meetings, and
No, she's an executive member.
is she still a member?
Yeah.
Julie is?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, but without the donation, she donates her time, and then we, accept her as a member.
There's many ways you can involve.
Right.
Be a part of it.
So thank you all very much for coming, and Kalila has all of our contact information, so you can feel free to email us with additional questions, and we'd love to stay in touch, and hopefully we can come back in the spring and give you an update about all things that happened and about our candidates that we endorse. Hopefully they all win.
And we're planning more fundraisers, and we hope that you guys will come to our fundraisers. We'll try to do it on the weekend, so you guys can all carpool there, okay? Yes, we will, on the weekends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll just say a few things. Just to close out this event, I just want to thank all of our three guests today, for coming and really taking your time to, talk to all the students here and, help us, educate us more too as well. I think this is a great organization, and that's why we invited you here. I really thank the students also for all coming tonight, Thank you, without all you, we wouldn't bring out these speakers as well. And so I think it's just great to see, great, wonderful, Hmong women's leaders in our community. And so I just want to thank you for all for coming, and, stay tuned for more, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for having us.